Well, I, I I finally got on here live. um, so anyway, let me get rid of this. Uh, what the heck? Okay. So anyway, we're live in the new year, so it took me long enough. Hey, hey, Jair. Oh man, good to see you, buddy. Hello. Oh man, I have been so hunkered in the bunker. I stuck my head out today. I tried to do this yesterday, and I switched to Mojave in the operating system for my Mac, and for whatever reason, it's hasn't been good to me. So I've had some issues with freezing up and stuff. And knowing my personality, that's the worst thing that can happen. I thought I would do something really special today, not for a long time, but just for a few minutes, and talk about my new book that's going to be coming out here probably. I'm thinking before summer at this point. It's moving really fast. But I thought I would give you a glimpse into the book. So I know a number of you are waiting for it. You've emailed me or talked to me on the phone or what have you. So the book is about human motivation. And if you know anything about what we do here at the Behavioral Resource Group, we measure your emotions, your primary emotions, and through that process, we get a behavioral profile from you. We also measure your attitudes and your value sets, and it's not quite what you're thinking if you're familiar with any other tools out there that do the same thing. Ours are integrated, so it's very different. And we've moved away from some of the more common ideas of what's out there because these tools types of tools have not updated in many years. So the simple disk instrument has not really been updated in I think close to 40 years. So, we're changing all that. To give you an idea, so this is our integrated, let me switch down here. So this is our integrated behavioral orientation. I thought it would be ready today for distribution, but it still hasn't come out of testing. And I got one page we're updating, we're changing, making some changes. Jair, you've seen what they are. So I appreciate your feedback on that. But we're getting that changed. The next report, hey, Mike, it's already out. That's our integrated motivational orientation. So we got the IBO, so that's the behavioral piece. We got the IMO, that's the motivational piece. So the IBO report, my book called The Four People Types and What Drives Them, that covers that report and what we discover in that report. So that book is, I got a copy of it right here. So this is that, where are we? This is that book. So you can see it's a pretty good sized book. And it covers, it talks about the brain and all kinds of cool stuff. So that book there, if you're interested in how the IBO report works, you'll see what we measure in it. The IMO report is the new book. So that's coming out. It's going to be just as power-packed with information as the behavior book. And then this year, I don't know when this year, I'll be keeping you abreast, we're going to come out with the IVO report, which is an integrated values orientation. This is taking off of the traditional formal axiology or the Hartman profiles. A lot of you've probably heard about that. So we're coming up with our own of one of those. And this is what we'll be calling the Holy Trinity, which is the combination of all three. And if anybody goes through this package, in other words, you go online and you are assessed through all three reports, I'm telling you right now, there's nothing we won't know about you. And there's nothing you won't know about you. And it's going to cover a lot of bases. To the point, in my opinion, you'll never need another assessment. In my opinion, you won't need another assessment. Now, to give kudos where they're due, Dr. Tony Alessandra and his team, run by Brandon Parker, which is assessments247.com. They're an assessment resource organization company, and they're one of the top companies in the nation for doing this. We have partnered with them, and it's been an amazing journey. They're helping me by utilizing their programming skills and their platform and things like that, things I haven't had to create because they've already done it. And we're taking my intuitive research based on almost 14 years of research now, and my partner Zeke Lopez, his axiological research that he's done over many, many years, and we're putting all these things into these tools. So, if you know anybody that is up in the air about what do I do, what kind of classes do I take in college, what do I do for work, my relationship sucks, I can't keep a man, I can't keep a woman, we'll know why. And that's the power of not only the reports, but our ability to decipher the reports. Because remember, we don't sell assessments. We build tools that we use in our consulting firm, and we offer them to others. So it's just a great thing. Okay, let's get rid of these, and let's go to the book. So this is, rare. I'm taking you right into the book right now, to kind of give you an idea of, the contents of this book. So the book is entitled What Moves Us, and it's understanding the 7 human motivations. And you can see that there's no S here, but there is now. So you see, this hasn't even gone through its rough edit yet. It's basically, let me save that. It's basically, you're looking at the drawing table here. And so, chapter 1, introduces you to motivation and how, this works. So this is based upon Edward Spranger's research. He wrote the book Types of Men in 1928. And we're taking off of a lot of his findings and how he did all the research and understood this. And some of this actually I'm updating. Like, not that I'm smarter than he is. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination. But we've just found some really cool things, and we're writing about it. So you can see every page, if there's footnotes, they're right on the page. Which I like doing it that way, by the way. So you don't have to go to the back of the book, lose your spot, and then try to find yourself back. It's right there, so you can just look down and read them. And so you could see, it covers a lot of things. Understanding the foundational principles of measurement, how we measure based on biaxial theory, like how we measure your answers in order to, generate the report. And we show you in the book, like this here, the theoretical element, or what we're calling curiosity. Are you disinterested or scholarly or situational? In other words, where do you find yourself, on a scale? So you can see even here, like this isn't even, fixed yet. Let me see. So I can move this around here. But you see, all this has to be edited. There it is. There's the 100. So you see the way we run these biaxial scales, 0 in the center and 0 to 100 to the left or to the right, and it shows you where you're going to fall. And once you understand what we're measuring and what it means, which this book will tell you, oh my gosh, it opens up, a whole new world. And then I bring a little bit of the behavior in here. So here you can see I'm measuring, the behavior piece. And this is the anger emotion. And so how does that work? How do we measure those? So we're integrating behavior and motivation and what you value, what moves you forward, in the world. And we're talking about these integrations in the book. Your environment and motivation. And so real powerful stuff here. I go into the different things, freedom and autonomy, freedom seeking, and what this can look like on a measurement and how we measure it. Individuality, compliance, power, sacrifice, originality, efficiency. It's going to be super powerful. Truth seeking, self-mastery, rule dependence, which is compliance or emotional regulation. Intuition, and which is the opposite of truth seeking. So people that that aren't really book smart, they're typically intuitively smart, or what some people call street smart. We talk about that. How does that work? We talk about your IMO preference and consistency graph. So this is all in the new IMO report. So we show you how that works. Measuring self-mastery, autonomy, and truth-seeking, which are the 3 cornerstones to the IMO. A direction graph, and how this works. So I'm telling you, this stuff's going to be so liberating. The 7 sources of motivation, which are each individual element. So we talk about the power element. We talk about the altruistic element, the regulation element. We go through all 7 elements. And we talk about the motivational word matrix and how that works. So we bring all this together, get you set up for the book just in chapter 1. Then in chapter 2, we talk about Gordon Allport in the proprium. So again, this goes back into the discoveries made by Gordon Allport, Sigmund Freud, the self concept or the ego, about how we experience things. Real powerful stuff. I got a picture here of my mom's artwork when she was a teenager, talking about how creative people are and how it can get into the DNA. I draw, my brother draws, my mother drew, my uncle draws, my aunt did poetry. I mean, it's running through the family in a DNA stream. And we talk about that. We talk about different things here. Let me just get through this. So this is all a little bit technical. The big 5. So openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. How that we describe that and how Allport, took these things and made them fundamental aspects of personality. And we show you how these are measured in our tools. Like, can we measure extroversion? The new IBO report, when it comes out, it'll tell you if you're extroverted or introverted and why. So cool. Again, this is just chapter 2. A lot of Allport stuff in there. So chapter 3, we get into the meat of the book. So originality and aesthetics. So we measure this in people. why some people are out of the box in their thinking, why they think in alternative ways, why are they so creative, how does that work, how do we measure it, and we show you exactly how it's measured. We have a picture of a graph here that's extremely rare, basically about 11 people out of 1,250. So not only will you understand your profile and what it could look like, you can take the profile, buy the book, and then you can go through the book looking at your profile and really be enlightened. Aestheticism as an attitude. We talk about unicorns and gypsy spirits. So, no, Jair, we're not measuring neuroticism because the profile doesn't measure that stuff. But these are terms I've created over the years I've been doing this, and we put it in the book. Like, what is it to be a gypsy spirit? What does that feel like? What does it mean? How individualism integrates with aestheticism. Like, how does that integrate, and what does that look like? What does it feel like? What does it mean? Aesthetics and originality. I mean, my gosh, I can't wait to read this. Dual aesthetic convergences. Oh, man. So look at what we do here. When your aesthetic is high and your individualistic is low, what will that mean? Well, it's called accommodation. We describe it. What if your aesthetic is high and your individualistic is high? It's called a creative. This is what it means. What if your aesthetic is high and your economic is low? It's unconventional. And we go through all the combinations when it comes to aestheticism and what that means, just covering all the highs and the lows. Aesthetic low, theoretical high, analytical. Aesthetic low, theoretical low, common. So very, very powerful. Situational. What does that mean? You keep impractical, creative, and mystical types grounded. That's what it will mean. That's just one out of 20 descriptors. What about a very high aesthetic driver? What is that? A desire. What does that mean? We list a bunch of things there, 20 things there. What about if it's very low? What does that mean? Well, we list a bunch of them there. Just really, really powerful. And then chapter 4, efficiency and economic drive. Some people are very efficient, some people aren't. Like, what does that mean? And we go through all of that. The productive orientation. Some of this is based upon the work of Erich Fromm. It's just so great. Writing this has been so fun. The lose winner. You've heard me say these things if you're familiar with my work. I give illustrations. Brain tension, higher economic impulses. What does all that mean? And then we do the same thing in the economic chapter. Time awareness. Some people have no time awareness. It's like clocks don't exist. And then other people, they're on military time. If you're 7 seconds late, you're late. How can that be measured? What does that mean? Why would somebody think that way? We cover all of it. Economy and beauty. How efficiency orientation works with a creative orientation. Economy and self-preservation. I mean, this goes on and on and on. Okay, dual convergences. I do the same thing with the economic line or the efficiency line. Efficiency high, aesthetic low. Efficiency high, aesthetic high. Efficiency high, individualistic low. We go through all and we give them names. So you're yielded, domination, self-centered, torn, flexible, forceful, street smart, shrewd, unconventional surrender, creative independence, collaborative, controlling, self-deprecating, forfeiting, measuring, compliant, passive resistant. I mean, this is sick. And then we go through all the different types, give you things to think about. It's so good. Then individualism and the need to be ourselves. Chapter 5. We're already at 100 pages here. So it's going to be filled with great information. The different dispositions as purported by Gordon Allport. We're talking about personal sovereignty. Some people need to be their own person. What does that look like? Why? Individualism, integrating with optimism. What does that mean? We talk about it because it happens a lot. Ayn Rand there, objectivism. Oh, my truth. You've heard that one floating around these days? We talk about that. Systems judgment and individualism. Oh man, I'm really excited. We even bring some axiology into this. So excited about this book. Individualism and the sixth value system. The dual convergences. Here we go again. This time individualism and how it works with the other 6 elements. So self-directed, very creative, innovative, opportunist, compromised, domination, self-focused, torn, defiant, two-faced. You know somebody like that? Instinctual, instructive, creative, supportive, pragmatic, self-reliant, assistive. I think I made that word up. Self-confident, self-effacing, supportive, apprehensive, amendable, passive-resistant, apprentice, the guesstimator. You know, people who guesstimate. How does that happen? Well, we're going to tell you. Oh, man, I could go on. But authority and power. So this is about authority and control, leadership. We talk about all of that. Giving you the profiles, the graphs, what it looks like. 3 types of control. You're either in control, out of control, under control. High power impulses. What does that mean? When I have a high need to be in charge of my life and everybody else's life. Low power impulses. Integrating it. Then we go into the convergences. So you're pragmatic, creative control, instructive, autonomous, blah, 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 blah. All that. Really good stuff. So you can see each chapter is a significant size. Personal sacrifice. So these are sacrificial people. We talk about the difference between personal sacrifice and empathy. What does that mean? Again, just giving you a glimpse, into the book. Been writing every day. Why Rescue Baby Jessica? One of my favorite parts of the book. So very, very powerful stuff. So at some point coming up, probably in the spring, you'll be able to pre-order the book, for those of you interested. Anyway, let me save because I made an adjustment in there. So really cool. So we're going to be, this year, we're going to have the IMO, the IBO, and hopefully the IVO. That one's the most complex. But it's already almost done. It'll just be, it's basically going to be programming. And our friend Brian Bell, shout out to Brian Bell at Assessments 24/7. He's my programmer basically, and he does an excellent job. Brian, you're awesome. So if you get to hear this video, a shout out to you for your awesome work and being patient with me. Real powerful stuff. So we're going to have those reports for this year. The book will come out, and I think I'm going to take a book break. I've written a lot of books in the past several years, and I'm going to take a break from doing that. I got to focus my time on trying to get some business. I've been so so busy in here writing and creating. It's like, that'd be great if I had like an eternal funnel of money coming in, but I don't. So anyway, I got to get back out on the circuit, get up on some stages, and get some stuff going for the new year once I get some of this stuff out of the way. But anyway, and I created these shirts. So let me see. So birthplace, Earth, religion, love, race, human, politics, freedom. So I don't have many left. I think I've got like a medium left, a large, a couple of larges, or maybe an extra large too. If you want one, you're gonna have to buy it from me because it cost me a fortune to get these things made. So, if no smalls and no V-necks. So, sorry, ladies. But if somebody wants one, give me a PM and I'll pack it up and send you one. Just a couple left, so a lot of people will get left out. I'm sorry, but I mean, who knows? If there's a good demand for it, maybe I'll get a bunch of them made. Anyway, I guess that's it. So the next live I do, I'm going to get back to the Never Neverland series. That's what I was going to do yesterday, and the computer did not cooperate at all. So I'll get back to that, and then we'll get back to doing some more behavior work live, so you guys can enjoy that. If you have any questions or anything that's pressing as far as need to know when it comes to workplace motivation, human behavior, your value system, how you think, anything like that, let us know. We'll try to cover it. So that's it. It's back in the saddle. I'm glad you tuned in, and we will catch you later. Let me see. I got to get my thing on the finish button so I'm not fumbling around for it after I say I'm done here. As if you're interested, but I'm remodeling my office, so I think a lot of those books are going to be gone. I got to downsize books. Mike, you're very welcome, man. Good to see you on there. Thank you. I got a stand-up desk. I'm standing here right now. But I like to sit once in a while. But I'm getting a desk that goes up and down now, so I can sit or stand rather than stand and stand, or stand and sit on an uncomfortable stool. That's what I've been doing, and it's not good for my back. So I got to get one of those special chairs that is good for you. I guess that's it. So thanks again, and Jair, Mike, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch y'all later. I'll try to give you a heads up next time so that you can be there when I come on. Have a great rest of the week.